Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you have had a good week so far. All right. I don't know if Jim is joining me tonight. If he is, I did send him a link. I don't know. Sometimes he comes on, sometimes he does not. I know he celebrated a birthday the other day. I haven't heard from him since. I mean, he sent me a couple messages, but anyway, if he joins us, that'd be great. Hi, Judy. How are you tonight? Hi, Nan. How are you tonight? All right. So we've got part 3 of this chapter, potpourri of alleged contacts with Elvis. We will finish this chapter tonight, and then next week we'll start the next chapter. All right. So I'm just kind of waiting for a few more people. But anyway, we've been going over, I guess, people that have either heard from him, um, weird phone calls, letters, sightings, experiences in stores, so on and so forth. So tonight, I think, is something to do with Switzerland, sightings in Switzerland and a couple other things, and some famous people who have also claimed they know he's alive or assume he's alive. Okay, I have checked Linda Hood Sigmund's truth. There is no new update. I think the last time she had heard from him, he was having problems with his phone, but he was able to talk to her. So I guess he is recovered a little bit from his small stroke that he had. So hopefully he will contact her soon and they can have a good call, a good chat. Hi, Purple Green. How are you tonight? All right. So hopefully Jim will join me, but if not, I know that he's been kind of having problems with his phone lately, and not feeling well, stuff like that. But I know he just celebrated his birthday, so I'm not sure what's going on with him today. So anyway, I'm going to start reading because there is a lot here. There's about 4 or 5, 6 or 7 more pages to go. So I'm going to read them and then we will attack the comments after, or questions or anything else. Okay. So she said, and now let us consider the possibility of the Swiss connection with the dead, in parentheses, Elvis Presley, or quotation mark, excuse me. The most interesting call reached me toward the end of 1988 from a Mr. Doherty, a producer of the documentary and other films. He told me he had just returned from Switzerland and that both while he was there and since his return, he had been asked to call me, he said, about the novel Orion, first published in 1979. I extract below from what he said to me. Are you familiar with a place called GATS? I can't say GSTAAD. I don't know if anyone knows how that pronounces, but anyway, there is a private school there called The School, a high security school where the son of Shakers send their children. Strong bonds are formed, a network, an octopus in the world of finance and power, highly secret. I was asked to front an organization to produce a film about the school. In conversation, the name Elvis Presley came up. I was told Elvis Presley was one of the money men involved. Sounded like a fairy tale to me. Somehow, the school and other organizations are interconnected. I can't separate them. Swiss bank involved. Most of the group I was talking to was made up of Italians. They brought up your book, Orion. Interested in making a major motion picture, but not in Italy. Okay. So Mr. Doherty said that he would get back to me. He has not done it. So he said he had offices in Florida and Los Angeles. When I questioned further about specifics of what he wanted, grew hesitant and then secretive. I still don't know what to make of him or of his calls, but it is curious about Switzerland. I have heard that since her father's death, Lisa attended school in Switzerland on occasion. And a well-known celebrity who fears being identified tells me that Elvis spent time in Switzerland after 1977 at a famous eye clinic where his glaucoma was treated, and that he also spent time in a top security health spa and clinic that the wealthy frequent. Then, in April 1989, a Swiss bank banked the Lausanne sponsored a series of Elvis reunion concerts for which many of Elvis's friends, as well as former musicians and backup groups, were flown over. In April 1989, around the world with Elvis News, as well as other media, the following news item was announced. A crowd of 1,600 attended the Bolio Theater and Lausanne for the first of 5 reunion concerts across the country by Elvis' originally backed up band on April 8, 1989, joining original members James Burton, lead guitar, Jerry Schiff, bass, Ronnie Tutt, Glenn Hardin, piano, and John Wilkinson, guitar. Was an orchestra of 10 strings, 16 horns, and 6 Swiss backup singers, for a total of 48 musicians and vocalists. Original backup singers Cheryl Nelson, Charlie Hodge, and Kathy Westmoreland completed the unit. In addition, J.D. Sumner and the Stamps were also on hand to add to the excitement. After a nationwide search, 29-year-old guitarist singer Stephen Paintor, I can't even pronounce his name, sorry, was chosen to perform the Elvis songbook. Opinions varied on how well Paintor did with his Elvis impersonation. All agreed, however, that he looked the part. These were the first public appearances by backup since 1977. Speaking to the group, J.D. Sumner said performing together again felt real good. The funding of this reunion trip must have totaled an astronomical amount of money. And another curiosity, note that the performance was held in a theater called Bolio. Bolio was Priscilla Presley's maiden name. An above around the world item was sent to me by Carol R. of Erie, Pennsylvania. In the phone call to me, she suggested, is it possible that Elvis Presley owns the Bolio Theater in Switzerland? It would take a great deal of money to bring so many people over, plane, hotels, meals, expenses, etc. Could such an expense be profitable to the bank or theater, or were these Elvis people brought over for another reason? Was it the reunion just that? Perhaps Elvis was there. Perhaps these folks, or the majority of them, found out for the first time that Elvis was alive. And where do it and where does it but the neutral country such as Switzerland? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm reading this and it didn't sound right. But anyway, would they keep the secret until Elvis came forward? I'm sure they would. And I'm not even a close friend. Find out if Elvis has had any other connections in Switzerland. Elvis would also appear to have a Hawaii connection. Now, we know that he has spent a lot of time in Hawaii. A woman who identified herself as B.S. from Palm Springs, California, wrote that she lived in Hawaii for a year and a half on an island of Oahu. However, anyway, on the North Shore, she said, there is a secluded house with iron gates and on them a musical sign. Shades of Memphis? She told me that she managed to peer over the wall, believing that some famous singer might live there, and was Elvis lounging on the grounds. She passed off the sighting as signs that she might be going mad, since it had been many years since he died. Last year, I received another Oahu connected Elvis item in a letter from Marjorie H. of Centerville, Indiana. She wrote, "Our cable television station from Earlham College in Richmond, Indiana, a religious college," she said, "had a DJ who said he talked to Elvis Presley. I asked him, 'How did you know when to call?' He said that he, the DJ, was in Oahu and had seen Elvis on the street and stopped and talked to him. I asked the DJ for a copy of the show on which he spoken to Elvis. He said he would send it. He didn't. I went to the radio station, but he said he couldn't talk to me and that there were no copies of the show. The DJ has returned to Oahu," she added. Several letters reached me a few years ago, all of them about the Aloha Bowl game held in Honolulu on Christmas Day in 1989, and all the writers professing that they had seen Elvis. Most of them stated that at halftime, Crystal Gail sang a couple of Christmas songs. A camera moved on, but when it came back to Crystal, there was a tall man with black hair and sideburns standing beside her, high cheekbones, slender legs, singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And I felt more than thought that the man was Elvis, was a common statement. It could have been an impersonator. We don't know that for sure. So KH of Cheyenne, Wyoming, the Aloha Bowl spectator, wrote a letter to record a promoter in Texas who says he had heard from Elvis. He replied to K that it probably was Elvis in Hawaii. That's his beloved homeland, the record producer stated. Marjorie H. of Centerville, Indiana, another bull spectator, wrote me, and she thought she recognized Elvis, but was even more surprised at the song he joined in singing. She thought the choice of the Battle Hymn of the Republic was odd, given Elvis's Southern origins. I think the Battle Hymn of the Republic is very similar to the trilogy. They used the chorus and trilogy for that. So, because there are so many Elvis lookalikes, the man singing that day could logically have been an impersonator. However, it was worth remembering that Elvis was made an honorary Hawaiian because of his love of Hawaii and his Hawaii movies, and the fact that he performed at the benefit concert at the USS Arizona Memorial Fund, helping to raise thousands and thousands of dollars on March 25th, 1961, and his 1973 Aloha concert that was widely televised. On August 17th, 1977, a day after Elvis's death, the Navy laid a wreath on the Arizona Memorial in his honor. "If I could not live at Graceland, I would live in Hawaii," Elvis often stated. I had been told that Elvis did or does have a home in Hawaii. Several Hawaiian radio stations told me that many locals have long rumored Elvis to be alive and living there. While I was in Memphis in 1988, a film crew, we were told by our van driver who was from Hawaii, Elvis is alive and living there from time to time. Elvis events are very early part of this year. Takes us to Florida. 1 second, please. Where newspapers got the Sightings Act, Palm Beach News had some interesting reportage in early January. I forgot to share this with somebody, so give me a second. Won't take me long. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Early January. Donna H. of Palm Beach sent me an article. Legends have ghosts of a chance of luring Elvis by Pedro Abigantes. It appears that Elvis was coming to town again for a sporting event, the paper reported. Officials of the Senior Professional Baseball Association's St. Lucie Legends say they received phone calls from an Elvis Presley. Elvis has called 5 or 6 times. Legends of General Manager Ray Negron says, "We have him on tape. It sounds very much like him." But the caller has identified himself as the real Elvis Presley and that he lives in Lake Michigan. He did not leave his phone number. The first call came 3 weeks ago, Negron says. Looking for proof, Negron took the tapes to Port St. Lucie radio station. A station official, Negron says, made voice prints and has concluded that the voice on the tape is a perfect match. Why would Elvis rise from the grave and return a decade later in Port St. Lucie? Elvis told Legends office manager Sue Scaming, "I consider myself a legend and want to be with the legends. I also love the senior league concept." Scamming believes it was the real Elvis. "I heard him sing. It couldn't be anybody but him," she said. "My heart and soul know him that well. My parents were crazy about him, and my boyfriend is an Elvis freak, and all my life I have been around his music, and I know it was him." Negron isn't as sure that Elvis is Elvis, but the legends are willing to accommodate him. Elvis, Negron said, made 2 requests. He wants the Legends to open a center field wall for him to drive into the field, and he wants extra security. And when Elvis drives in, his automobile will circle the bases. He will be escorted by private guards and perhaps a canine unit. The rock legend will explain a few things and sing a few songs, Negron says. And what has Elvis been doing since death? He says he watches a lot of sporting events and enjoys a regular life. The reason he has stayed away from the public eye is he wanted to rest from everyone because he was harassed constantly. He wanted to be a plain citizen. Is this a publicity stunt by the team averaging 723 fans per home game? I am curious too, Legends publicly publicity director Estelle Kiger said. "We are not saying it is him. We are not saying it is not him. All we are saying is someone claiming to be him called and said he would be here that night. Maybe he is alive and wants to make a comeback." All right. So Donna H. wrote me that a radio station Z93 in Port St. Lucie told her that Elvis person started calling in early December saying he would be in town the week of January 8th. Loves baseball and wanted added security. A letter dated on January 5th, 1990 reached me from another fan, Regina H. of Pelham, Georgia, telling that I heard that Elvis might show up at the Legends game in Port St. Lucie, Florida, Thursday night, January 11th. Friday night, I still had not heard anything on the news about it, but a friend called me to say that the man dressed like Elvis driving a white limo who had a policeman with him did show up at this game. So I called the Port St. Lucie Police Department and asked the lady who answered if she knew anything about the Legends ball game there Thursday night. She said she did. I told her what I had been told about Elvis being there, and she said, "Yes, ma'am, he was there." Okay, so I don't know if it's really him or not, but they're claiming it is. There was plenty of witnesses to that. So, a letter to me from a young North Carolinian named Linda S. um, is a bit more informative. Linda called the Legend's main office on January 12th, and talked to a young woman there who had been at the game and who confirmed that Elvis in the white limo had sung the three songs Teddy Bear, American Trilogy, and I Can't Stop Loving You, then talked a while and left. He had stayed 15 to 20 minutes. Then Linda tossed in some numerological data. First of all, when calculating January 11th using Elvis's new spelling of Aaron, Aaron, it comes out to be the day that would certainly be suited for his coming out. If you have Cairo's Book of Numbers, check out the compound number 17, which is this date adds up for Elvis. Okay, anyway. Second, the caller mentioned a farm on the Lake Michigan, Eli's farm, indeed in Michigan. Ali's farm, excuse me, indeed in Michigan. It all turns out Linda also called the Port St. Lucie newspaper and learned that they did not even bother to cover the event. No report or photos. I just felt if he ever did do something like this, the media would be too skeptical to cover it. And they probably thought it was just an Elvis impersonator. Who knows? But anyway, so in Sunday, July 1st, 1990, the article of the New York Times entitled "Nostalgia Can Choke the Ongoing Stream of Your Life," writer James Gorman protested that the continuing cults of Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley speak to acute sense of personal loss that underlies the dream of American progress and success. He rather snidely suggested that, as in several recent films featured angelic emissaries, I can't say that word, sorry, emissaries. Anyway, a sighting of Elvis in a supermarket ennobles the everyday, transforming failure into redemption. I don't know. Anyway. A fitting ending to this chapter of alleged communications with and sightings of Elvis should rightly include a roster of his compares in the world of entertainment. All right. And Jordanaires experience, they have been an Elvis backup group, seems to me a good beginning. In August of 1988, the Jordanaires did a charity show for crippled children in Reno, Nevada. Gordon Stoker, a member of the ensemble, in an interview with Gary James of the City Edition downtown Syracuse, New York, on April 1st, 1990, told James that the group had received a letter in Reno, supposedly written by Elvis, concerning their show. The letter was really written to the people who had booked the Jordanaires and read, "Dear Sirs, I am very excited to hear," and Elvis type misspelling, "you were bringing my lifelong friends, the Jordanaires, to Tucson, an earlier show. I miss them very much. Tell them I still blame the Colonel for what happened. They will know what I mean. I've seen Elvis Wade. He's great. I think a destiny that he rise out of those impersonators. The Jordanaires have chosen well. I understand you are giving part of the money to children. They were always my weakness. Bless you. I will be there." The letter signed Elvis. That tickled Gordon Stoker was what tickled Gordon Stoker was the misspelling of the word here. Instead of H-E-R-E, he spelled it H-E-A-R. Elvis did misspell common words, Mr. Stoker admitted to the reporter James. Not long after, Aaron Y. of McEwen, Tennessee, wrote to me to say that when the Jordanaires were on a late 1989 Crook and Chase show out of Nashville, Ray Walker said that in 1966 they were recording the same songs with Elvis and they had taken time out to relax. And Elvis said, "You know, Ray, the only way you'll ever get out of the business is to die. Think I can pull it off?" Raymond returned with, "If anyone can, you can. Go for it." Ray went on to say that with all this about Elvis being alive coming out, it makes this that statement look funny. Larry Geller and If I Can Dream mentions that Elvis made very strange remarks about never wanting to become a pathetic 50-year-old singer, saying he would never allow that to happen to him. Did Elvis indeed go for it? A panorama of entertainers' thoughts follows. Okay, so here's some entertainers and their thoughts on whether they think Elvis is alive. Country singer Waylon Jennings is cited in Steve Tamarius and Fred Worth's book Elvis, His Life from A to Z as one of the many people who suggested that Elvis probably faked his own death in order to return to a quiet, secluded life. 1 year after Elvis Presley's death, singer Ronnie McDowell, the Associated Press, Joe Edwards reported on August 13, 1978, still has trouble believing the king is gone. Sometimes I wonder if he really is dead. I wonder if maybe he just wanted to be free to walk around. What gets me is they moved his body, so fast, it makes me wonder if he's out there watching what I'm doing. Singer Merle Haggard quoted the People magazine on June 1979, said, "Elvis may have faked his death. It would be the first chance for freedom in his entire life. It could have been a scheme of Colonel Parker dreamed up." In December of 1989, the tabloid interview with Jerry Lee Lewis, the singer said, the people don't realize what people don't realize is how smart Elvis was. He knew when to pull out. I didn't. Entertainer Joan Rivers on the WXRK Howard Stern radio show on March 16, 1990, said she truly believed that Elvis was alive. The Bon Jovi rock group lead singer says, John Bon Jovi, according to Circus Magazine on February 1990, that there is one idol of his whom he has yet to meet, Elvis. He's around, man. And there was a couple other ones that I have on, I think, a short here on this and maybe a small video on this channel that has Bruce Springsteen and a couple other people, including his name's escaping me right now. Anyway, it'll come to me, that have said the same thing. Okay. And early this year, singer Gloria Estefan was interviewed by William Norwich of the Daily News in her hospital bed in New York, where she was recovering from a bus accident. She related how recently in Las Vegas she had an extraordinary experience. In the middle of the night, the phone had rung and she heard the words, "Hello, Gloria, this is Elvis." She'd grown more and more stunned as a voice on the other end continued, convincing her that it was Presley. She admitted that afterwards, friends had assured her that the voice had been that of an impersonator. Many Elvis fans have written me to ask if I noted that singer Wayne Newton in his autobiography, Once Before I Go, 1989. He recalls that on August 10th, 1977, he was at his ranch when he received an emergency telephone call telling him Elvis just died. Of course, Elvis did not die until 6 days later. Newton was another friend of Elvis who attended neither the singer's viewing nor funeral. At a March 18, 1990 live concert in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Newton addressed the audience, asking if any of them had seen him walking that day. No one in the audience could say yes. Again, he asked them a question, and again, there was no response. Then he asked, "Do you mean no one saw me out walking today?" See, that's how Elvis does it. In fact, Elvis was walking with me. He loves this brisk weather. All right. So Elvis John Burroughs should rightly conclude this chapter as he began it. Tony Thomas of radio station WQWC, Webster City, Iowa, received a revealing letter dated February 5th, 1989 from Burroughs. It read, "On a recent drive in Iowa, I happened to come across your radio station and heard the name Tony Thomas as the announcer. Normally, the name wouldn't ring a bell, but not too long ago, I had read an article in an Iowa paper and quoted Tommy Thomas like he was some kind of kind of an Elvis headquarters that had the latest news about Elvis and sightings concerning Elvis. I have news for you, sir. I want to live the rest of my life in peace. I don't have to explain my actions to anyone. I deserve that much. I can now see anyone that I want to see at any time I wish. I can come and go as I please, something that I haven't been able to do most of my life. If I want to drive cross country, I can. I'm watching my little girl grow without being watched. I'm asking you to please let me do that. I do not interfere with your life, and I ask the same courtesy for you. You are not the only one that I have made this request to, so I needn't feel singled out. I trust that this letter will be between you and me, and maybe someday we will meet face to face. Please don't get excited about the Hallsville, Missouri address because I will address anything according to where I am at the time." And then he answers it TCB. Okay, so that's the end of this chapter. It's quite interesting. Um, Garth Brooks was the other artist I was thinking of. It wasn't coming to me. And actually, Garth Brooks had revealed this on the Hoda. I can't remember how the Hoda show. Anyway, that Elvis was alive on his 80th birthday. And I think what brought him to that conclusion was because obviously John Burroughs, or AKA Jesse Elvis, admitted that he sang those 15 songs on Elvis Found Alive, and he sang Garth Brooks' song The Dance, which was excellent. So yeah, he knows he's alive. So those people have admitted that Elvis was alive as well. I think this interesting phone call with Gloria Estefan kind of was quite interesting. So, and of course we know Linda Hood Sigmund also gets phone calls from Elvis quite often. I thought this was interesting when she went Linda S, and I'm wondering if it's Linda Sigmund. She's from North Carolina. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but you never know. Anyway, all right. I guess I'll address these comments. I guess Jim didn't get to come on with us today. Oh well. I was hoping he could make it tonight too, but I guess he didn't make it on. Sometimes he has problems with his phone. I don't know. All right. Hi, Purple Green. Yeah, I'm doing good. Mm. Good evening, Claudette. How are you tonight? Hi, Jermaine. Hi, Julianne. Hi, Mary. Good to see you too. Hi, Jack. Well, Elvis living around cannot stay one place, doesn't want to be recognized. Correct. Now, I'm going to just pull this out for a minute, if I can show it to you. And I'm going to read something. Every time Elvis got recognized, his security would get very nervous and they would move him around everywhere. So see if I can find the letter that had the list of places that he could remember that he moved around. But he moved around a lot. So let me see. Dated 5/13/99. He wrote, I'm including on the book some of the locations in different cities that I have lived in since 1977. Elvin, Texas, Geneva, Illinois, Apopka, Florida, and he wrote nice next to it. Litchfield Park, Arizona, and that's where Jim met him, was in Litchfield Park, Arizona, back in 1981. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he was there for 2 weeks. Tenino, Washington, Warren, Ohio, and of course he had mentioned Hawaii was the best place to live, and Iowa was his least favorite place, or Idaho, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, he lived in Hawaii. This is He says, I've also lived in different cities, dozens of different cities. Miami was one, Denver, Colorado, Boise, Idaho, Hawaii, and of course, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and a bunch of other places that he's been. And he gets moved around a lot because, like I said, when he gets recognized, they move him. So he can't stay in one place. I don't know now. It might be a little different because of the fact that he is a little bit more older and, you know, suffering, wheelchair bound sometimes and stuff like that. So, you found me? Well, great. I'm glad you found me. All right. Good news. Lots of Elvis sightings. Yes. I'm not sure nowadays. Like I said, he might have, and he could be even sighted at a lot of places like the funerals of his friends and stuff like that. But, you know, everything is done an angle where maybe you can't see his face. You might just see the back of his head. Um, you know, or far away, blacked out, fuzzed. Yeah. And he does wear disguises when he's out. So he could look different. Hi, Julianne. Why not? Elvis has exposed fans he wants now to the quiet life and enjoy. Yes. He's also a very spiritual person. Very close to God, and but yeah, he just wants to live a private life. He doesn't want the fame and the fortune at all. Hi, Jermaine. Cannot blame Elvis. He's so famous and easy to recognize. Right. And now that he's older and very old, um, you're gonna say it could be a possibility he might have altered his look from his Jesse picture as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, also, we could think of this. He could probably wear hats. Um, you could probably there's many different ways he could disguise, mostly sunglasses. He also has his hair all white now, so people don't recognize him unless he smiles or looks at you. So there's a possibility he might walk around without talking. Beards and mustaches quite often. When I heard he's got a full white head of a full white beard. That's what Jim told me anyway, because I guess he's seen him before. Anyway, his hair's all white. Yeah. No problem, Jackie. That's okay. You can watch the recording afterwards, because this will be permanently on here. That's what I like about YouTube Live, is that everything's permanently on here, where on Facebook everything expires after 30 days, which is a pain in the neck. So, anyway. All right. Any more comments or anything? All right. So, I thought it was quite interesting that you know, he has been out in the public, not really hiding, but you know, nice blonde like mine. Right. I mean, if we look at the Jesse picture even, um, that was done. His hair was like really white. And of course done with a flash. It made it look yellow. you know. But we got a Jesse picture. Okay, so I mean, this is the Jesse picture, and I just put it through an enhancer once, so the teeth are kind of off. But you know, I mean, sorry, I'm late. Any new updates on Jesse? Nope, not that I know of. As far as I know, he tried calling her a couple days ago, and they connected 4 times, but somehow she claimed that his phone call was getting recorded or something, and somehow it got really like hard to hear, and then it disconnected on her. So I don't know. He's having phone problems. All right, anyway. How old is Jim now that he just had his birthday? He is 57 years old. He's 2 years older than me. He's the same age as Lisa Marie would be today. He was born the same year Lisa Marie Presley was born, 68. All right. Any more video clips of Jesse? I don't know. I don't really have a video clip of Jesse, but this is the only picture he allows. That's on Linda's site. You can't see the Elvis resemblance if I put it next to, if I had a let's see. I don't know if I have one. Give me a second. I can't do that one. I was trying to get a file for you, a picture for you. Comparisons. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's not letting me. All right, it's not letting me get those papers, so sorry. Pictures. Let me see. I'll try a different way. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm not getting any pictures. I don't know why I'm not allowed to. So sorry. That was the only one I was allowed. Anyway, that was his eyes. Give me one more minute. Well, I guess. Well, that was the first. That was the first thing. That was the first one. But that's the original picture that was on Linda's site, and I didn't like it because it's too fuzzy. Anyway, try a different one. Now I have an idea. Hold on a minute. Let me get you something else. Hmm. Okay, I can't find it. No, I can't find it. I was trying. I have. Okay, let's try this. All right. So there is no mistaking his blue eyes. So here's a bunch of photos of Elvis's eyes and Jesse Elvis's eyes. I see a very big comparison there in their eyes, certain angles in which the picture's taken. Don't forget, I think he was on 1994 in this picture of Jesse Elvis, and he had plastic surgery, and he could have had eyes done as well, puffiness, eyelids done. A lot of people do that age. I had a friend that had eyelids done because her eyelids were so heavy that they were causing a hard time to see. So he had his eyes done, his nose done, and he wasn't happy with it, he said. but you can't mistake his blue eyes. Okay, so let's see what else is here for comparisons in that photo. All right, so smiles, cheeks, smile lines, cheeks, chins. Leg scars, some leg scars. The one up top on the left is the Jesse picture. He's sitting on a lawnmower giving Benjamin a ride. Some other photos. Now the teeth are off because the enhancer program doesn't make the teeth good. So the teeth are sucky. But other than that, I mean, I don't know if you guys see that, but only if we could color his hair black, okay, you would see Elvis in that. But yeah. Collarbones. These are all pictures of Elvis younger, and the slant of his collarbone. It looked like it broke and healed weird. Fingers and thumbs. Hands. And of course, this is the picture that came with the letter. There was a letter that came with it. And that little boy in the lap is Benjamin Keough. And he's been identified in the letter. The picture shows me the first time with my grandson, Benjamin Storm, at my hideout in ... to keep him private. Okay. He also says, as you can tell, I'm ecstatic with the visit. Finally, a boy in the family. And he was born October 21st and is the love of my life. And he said 2 years ago. So this picture was taken in 1994. Benjamin Storm, it was probably in the summer. It wasn't quite 2, but because he was born in 1992, he's a little bit younger here, not really quite 2 yet. It's probably a year and a half, almost 2. Not sure when it was taken, but here's some comparisons of the little boy and Benjamin. Very common, very close eyes, face shape, lips, nose, eyes, different angles. Maybe the hair might be different, but he was young. He was only less than 2 years old. They also had the date of birth that came with the letter. I can't show you guys the letter, but I will give you the URL that you can find that letter. It's on lindahoodsigmundstruth.com. You guys can sit and read it yourself. It is handwritten. But because it's copywritten, I cannot show it to you guys. So this proof that this man is Elvis. Now, Jesse Elvis. He calls himself Jesse. But anyway, I don't know if that helps you guys out any, but the only thing I had that had good comparisons on it that I couldn't do it. So now I'm going to look at all these other comments here. Where was I? Sorry that took me a few minutes, guys, to find it, but hey, I figured it out. Right. Hi, Francis. No problem. Any updates? No new updates. I already gave you that answer. I lost track where it was. He probably is. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't watching it. My husband said it was a great parade. I watched some of it, but I said, well, I had to get on live because I wasn't canceling a live because of a TV program. I figured I could watch it later on live on YouTube anyway. Add to my Instagram. That's the problem is I'm not on Instagram that much. Maybe I'll work on that. I don't know. I have too much going on. I just don't have time to really focus on all the social medias. So, but I truly wish people would stop saying Bob Joyce is Elvis. He doesn't look anything like him. Exactly. Correct. Because he's not. He said it multiple times. Even Elvis Police had on his channel, he's got a bunch of videos that debunks Bob Joyce being Elvis. I have a couple shorts as well. I have a short that has comparison photos of Bob Joyce when he was younger to now. Same face, same beard, same different hair color, obviously, and a lot older, but definitely looks like his father, looks like his mother, has two sisters. They didn't look anything alike. Okay, good. Well, now you see it. Okay, good. All right. I wish people would stop. Oh, everybody said that. Okay. A tiny bit from the nose up. Yeah. Well, I think he had, like he said, I'm going to just put this back on for a minute. He said he had plastic surgery and he wasn't totally happy with it. I'm going to say the nose is definitely something that he might have had fixed. Um, and the teeth are not right because that enhancing program doesn't do a good job with the teeth. I might have another enhanced photo that might be a little better, but it looks light. But anyway. His eyebrows are white, yes. And you know, Elvis's hair was really blonde in real life, like light brown, like Lisa Marie's hair. So when he aged, his hair got all white. Really wish we could see what he looks like today. The previous video of him showing his teeth is a great, awesome clip. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean the video Jim shared? Okay, yeah. Uh, he says it was, I don't know. It looks like him, but I don't know. You didn't get much. You only get from the nose down. But the nose is different than Jesse's nose here, and the side of his cheeks too. There were some grooves. I might have. I don't think I have any screenshots of that, and I'm not sure if it's really him because it's not official. Okay. Anyway. Definitely looks like Elvis. Yes, I think it does with white hair. I like the enhanced photo better than the other one. The other one, I'll show you the other one, is kind of fuzzy like this. So the enhancer took all that fuzz off and just made it better so you could see it. The teeth are wrong though in the enhanced photo, but big resemblance with Elvis. Right. Really? I'll have to look. Well, like I said, he was a real twin, so you know, I'm not sure if it was identical, but there's only one channel that believes that. Yeah, the one Jim showed. I don't think I have that a copy of that. It's only on Facebook. Those of you that are on the Facebook group will see that video she's referring to. A video that Jim shared on Facebook and on the private group. It's kind of like a picture of, he says it's Elvis from his nose down, and he has a beard, and he's got his teeth open like that. And he's rocking back and forth the steamroller. It's kind of cool. I think one of someone close to him in the family or friends, I'm not quite sure, made that video and posted it online, and they got in trouble for it. But anyway. Yeah. No, Elvis was actually blonde. I know that for sure. And then he dyed it black because he liked it black better. For some reason, that was just something he liked. So And there are some reports, like 1988 and stuff, where it says his hair was like black and white, like he had white streaks in his black hair. All right. So, all right. So we're going to, now I'm going to put this down, remove, any other questions? Okay. So I'd like to pull that out one day and do the Ben and Jesse picture. That is actually the PowerPoint to, if you guys have not seen that, it's called, the video is called, it was during the Truth Book videos. If you not have seen that video, I can tell you what the title is and you can look at it another time. And maybe I'll link it to the back of this, but I have to wait till tomorrow to do any videos, linking videos. So let me see if I can help you guys out. The title of that video. It's under the live tab. That I can tell you. Called, is this a picture of Elvis and Ben remake live? So you guys can watch that. It's called, is this a picture of Elvis and Ben? The remake live. It was dated about 10 months ago during the Truth Book series. And if you guys haven't seen the Truth Book series, I have this whole book on the Truth Book series and the lives. Okay. On the picture, it's the same picture in the book, but it's black and white and horrible looking. So I like to use the colored one and Linda's site. All right. Yeah. I'm going to say his mother. I heard his mother had white hair early as well. And she used to dye her hair black, if I remember correctly. How do I connect with Jim? I connect with him on Facebook Messenger. He goes by Jim Mike McFarlane. He also is on Instagram, but he's not on it often like me. So that's where you can contact Jim. Through the Elvis, you could contact him through the group. If you're on the group, Elvis the Man is Alive on Facebook. But you can also contact him through Facebook under Jim Mike McFarlane. See if I can. Yeah. And how did I connect with Jim? He joins the group. A couple when the group was like in December, my first year of the group. And he told me he was cousin and his connection, and we were chatting on Facebook. That's how I met Jim. It was through the group on Facebook. I know you don't have Facebook. I don't have a way of getting that. I'd have to upload that video, splice it, and put it on. And I don't have permission, so it's something Jim has on Facebook. Random friendship. Not really. We just met on Facebook. We had something in common and we chatted and we've been friends since. We talk a lot on YouTube, on Facebook Messenger, and talk on the phone. I don't know how often he speaks to Elvis Jesse, or if he does at all anymore. I know he got a couple random calls. He has somebody he knows through in the that's close to him that he contacts, and it's family related. I'm not quite sure exactly who it is. I know who it is, but I'm not allowed. Let's just say that. Okay, to say. So, but he does get messages from him every so often. I think the last message he got was Christmas. He got like a message well wishing, and that was it. Cousin Billy Smith says he used to dye Elvis's hair black. Probably. I'm also going to say Larry Geller probably did too, because Larry Geller was his hairdresser for a while. So Elvis had his hair dyed black. Actually, I think that Larry Geller was telling him, "You got to stop dyeing your hair, or you're going to start losing your hair." I'm going to say that he knows about this channel. He's seen one video from this channel, and that is the was it real life experiences with Jim on it. So yeah, because Linda saw the picture that was given to him. So if you haven't seen that video, you know, yeah, I can't say much. You know, I don't know a whole lot. I've never really talked to him ever personally, but I mean, Jesse Ellis. But I read a lot on Linda's site, and I keep up with some people who know of him, heard of him, talked to him, or have ties to people that know him. You know, it's what's nice about social media. So anyway, I do talk to Linda too on X, but she doesn't go on very often. She doesn't. She has bad hands. Right. Well, I just don't think it's I just can't like take the video because it's Facebook and put it on like a converter where I can convert it into a regular video, put it on YouTube, and I don't have permission, and I don't want to give out something that I'm not sure and it's not a confirmed video. You know, just because Jim has it doesn't mean it's confirmed. It could be somebody, you know, pretending. Who knows? Hi, Sandy. How are you tonight? If you miss it, you can just watch the replay. All right. So we just finished that last chapter, alleged contacts. All right. That's all right. So speaking of alleged contacts, I'm gonna see if I can pull up that video. A minute. I remember my mom called the WMCA in Kalamazoo after the book Is Elvis Alive and asked if John Burroughs was there. And a lady on the phone said he wasn't there, but wished he was. Well, that's interesting. Wow. Right. Well, I know that that Kelly Burgess actually went to that hotel to look for John Burroughs or Elvis. I actually got to meet him in person. So, yeah, that we covered that I think 3 episodes or 4 episodes ago. Looking for Michelle. Oh yeah, she's not on tonight yet. Maybe she missed it. Well, she'll be on later. She'll watch it when she can. Who knows? Maybe something's going on, you know. That's Sunday morning for you guys, so or afternoon, I mean, in Australia. It's still Saturday night here, so okay. So let's see. Yeah, let's see if I can pull up that video I wanted. Give me 1 second. Mhm. Okay, well, I'm not finding it. Wait a minute.
Oh, he too grew up very, very poor.
Yeah, Paul.
And it's exactly what you said the other day. Oh, right.
Elvis A.R.O.N. Presley, not Elvis A.A.R.O.N. Presley like is on his gravestone. Elvis was too honest a man to put his real name on a grave that he wasn't in. He ain't in it.
Riley says that she knows for a fact Elvis is alive.
I could rattle off several of the top names in the music world that see him on a fairly regular basis, talk to him all the time.
Okay, so
He is 80 day. Not that he would be.
yeah,
He is. He's still alive. He's the king.
you know
He's
what
always going
he
to be
is.
the king.
Well,
Right. So how's that? He says he's still alive. All right. What book am I going to read next? I'm planning to read Don't Cry, Darling by Pepper Ritter. If that sounds good to everybody. I've been reading that book, Don't Cry, Darling, on Facebook. The problem is Facebook after 30 days erases the videos. So I will do a whole series of that book next after this book. But this book is not quite done yet. We got quite a few more chapters in here. So we're past the halfway point, but not quite done. How about 4 or 5 more chapters? Okay. So I hope that helps you guys. So Don't Cry, Darling, Pepper Ritter will be next. Okay. And so we will read that and we'll probably skip over one chapter because it has nothing to do with the topic. But other than that, anyway. I wonder if Riley is in contact with Elvis. I saw Riley do the video at Graceland, and I'm wondering if. Okay, so as far as I know, I do not know if Riley is still in contact with Elvis. I don't even know if Riley is still alive. Oh, you mean Riley Keough? Never mind. Riley Keough? I think she might be. She says wherever he is. She really doesn't know. Saw the video did on Graceland. I'm wondering if. And then I think he might go to Graceland, but not as often as he used to. I don't think he's really allowed to go to Graceland. If he does, he goes at night, like late night, when nobody's there. So lately he's been ailing with like a lot of problems. So he's not the healthiest dude in the world right now. He's been dealing with some strokes and neuropathy, arthritis, severe pain, aging, diabetes, and some other issues like strokes and heart issues. So, yeah, he's been dealing with a lot of illness. And I think they said he was now like using a wheelchair every so often. So, yeah. I'm not sure if he goes to Graceland now or not. He might. I don't know. Really don't know because it's not mentioned anything. Linda doesn't say anything about his location. If she does talk about his location, it's very, very rare now that she does. All right. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm just going to just finish with a little half song or whatever of Do You Know Who I Am? And or maybe I'll just do a little play. Never mind. I'll just do this little spelling on the stone clip and I'll sign off. You guys have a great night and God bless y'all. I'll see you next week for the next installment. I think the next chapter is dealing with, believe it or not, I believe it's mystery songs, singers, and Orion. So we'll be doing that one. We'll be in this one for a little while. Okay. It's one of my favorite chapters. Right. You're very welcome. Enjoy them all. If you haven't seen them all, enjoy them all. And haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and like, favorite, and share videos. And we do love Jesse Elvis and keep him in your prayers because he does deal still with a lot of pain and stuff like that, recovering from his strokes and everything. All right. So I was going to finish with the little music clip here. Yeah, and I don't know what's up with Jim. We'll just keep him in your thoughts as well. He did celebrate a birthday this week, so I don't know, maybe he's doing something tomorrow as Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there as well. And I'm just going to finish with this. Good night.
On the stone.
The legend lives, never dies. It's up to you
Sing the song.
to decide.
Say the word, and I'll come home. Check the spelling on the stone. Just check the spelling on my stone.
Good night, everybody. Bye.